Good evening and welcome to the Real for Life podcast with Jesse and Joe. How the hell you doing, Joe?
Oh, we just spoke on the phone for 30 fucking minutes trying to figure out my shit, but yeah, we're good.
So for the loyal followers out there, all 19 of you now at this point.
Oh,
thank
shit.
Dude, we're blowing up, son. I'm telling you.
We're going to have to get a cake at 20.
At 20, we eat cake. Yes. So what was I saying there? Sorry, I got really prepared for this podcast, if you know what I mean. So hold on. Oh, yeah, your audio. So for the
Still
listeners
sucks.
that weren't so for the listeners that were with us last episode, Joe decided to drop some money on a nice audio setup, and he went to the best place on earth, the pawn shop.
Naturally.
How much? And then when that didn't work, what was the next step, Joe?
Going back to Amazon.
Okay. How much did you spend on Amazon?
I can't say this out loud because my wife listens to this.
And are you using any of that equipment currently,
No.
Joe?
Spent more than the actual solution.
Dude, this is the story of our entire lives. There's men out there. So there's different kinds of bros, right? So there's the bro that can make a bong out of a fucking, can of Coke and a Twizzler, right?
Yeah.
And
And
then
then
there's the
avocado and a snorkel, bro.
I've made bongs with less. Then there's the guys that don't know how to do it and just hire somebody.
Yeah, we're like
Then there's the
between
third category.
both of those.
Now we're the third category. Category 3 is guys that think they know what they're doing, but they don't. But to prove that they know what they're doing, they just throw money at it. I'll just buy more parts to make it even more custom.
Dude,
even
I've
though I
spent-
know every time I customize something, it's worse than the original product.
Yeah, I've probably bought in 20 cords to try to make this mixer work. 20 at like $10 a piece.
Ugh.
Or I could have just bought the original mixer that would fucking work.
Yeah. No, that's how it goes. When I spent my entire Army sign-on bonus to put hydraulics in an 81 4-door Buick Century, $6,000.
But it's a memory that will last forever.
It rode like shit. Like,
yeah,
you
right.
can't drive a car on hydraulics daily. Your back will be ruined. They use like train springs. They're not even like Ford F-350 springs. They're like train springs.
Driving a go-kart.
Yeah, it's terrible. But it
totally worth it.
Totally worth it. But we're also the kind of guys that like I take pride in like cheating the system. So like, take my job, for example. I completely cheated the system because everybody I work with had to go to 4 years of college. And I joined the Army and got my education in 1 year. That's right. I do have a job now. And I feel like I cheated the system. Yeah. But that's what me and you try to do in everything. So it's like, rather than buy the $8,000 mountain bike, I'm going to buy the $800 mountain bike because I know that if I put this part, and this part on it, it's going to be just as good. And then once I spend $3,000 to try to make the $8,000 bike and realize that it doesn't fucking work, then I spend the $8,000 on the good bike, right?
That's where me and you differ. I'm a quitter. I'd be like, fuck it, I'm selling it.
Give up hope. Dreams are for
suckers. That's actually one of my topics.
Well, we'll get into it, but moral of the story, the older I get, the more I get into my old age, the more I kind of follow the adage, buy once, cry once. And that's the beauty about once you get in your 40s, like you've got disposable income, right? So you should. So rather than fuck around, like just spend the fucking money and get the good thing up front and just be done, right?
Yeah. How's your Power Wagon?
Fucking amazing.
And
It's what I should have bought in the first place.
And what'd you spend on top of that?
What do you mean? For the canopy?
Accessories.
Okay. Oh, you know what? This is a buy once. Hold on now, buddy. Oh, fuck you. Number one. Number two. Here's number two. So buy once, cry once. So the truck I had before my current one was a Ram 1500. Okay. And it had the Eco Diesel because supposedly that they were supposed to be able to tow a lot. They got great gas mileage. Fuck the Eco Diesel. I had tons of problems. And at the end, when it finally shit out again and it was going to be like $4,000 to fix it, and it wasn't something I could fix on my own, I was like, fuck it. I'm going to take it back to the Ram dealership and trade it in on what I should have got, a fucking Ram 2500, right? So the dealership wouldn't even take it on
what
trade.
You need in Portland to commute.
I'm a bro, okay? I'm either in an S2000, okay, or a big fucking truck. So, and I only have a 3-car garage. So anyway, truck wouldn't even take their own, Dodge wouldn't even take their own truck on trade-in because it had 8 recalls that they didn't have a fix for because of that Eco Diesel.
Jesus
the
Christ.
Point of the story, the purchase price of the truck, and then an let's be honest, a $12,000 canopy because it was a pop-up camper, a 4-wheel camper, wheels and tires. I spent probably $3,500 on the suspension, all King shocks, all the bullshit. When by the end of it, it was the same amount of money as if I would have got the truck that I just should have got, which was the 2500 Power Wagon, which comes with lockers front and rear.
And that's my joke.
From
and
the
you
factory.
Still bought shit for it.
Well, of course I did, Joe. It comes stock with 33s. I'm trying to roll on chrome and candy, son.
Yeah. You getting 36s? Where you at?
They're 35s, but I keep them clean. I keep them clean as shit. I keep them real clean. But it comes stock with like these badass 17-inch wheels that are bead lock capable. So once you put 35s on it, you've literally got the Jeep Rubicon version of a truck. It's the only truck out there that's got
what is capable?
Locking differentials and a stock winch and an electronic disconnecting front sway bar. This truck will never see off-road trail, by the way. So all of that is useless. I use this truck to tow my real trail vehicle to the trail, the Jeep behind me. But the combination, Joe, of my fucking Power Wagon with, oh, this is what you're going to make fun of me of, because I spent $4,000 on a fucking color match canopy for it.
Right. Well, that has to happen.
And a full bed rug. Like, it's basically an apartment back there. Right?
With the LED strip lights.
2 of them, sir.
Yeah.
There was an option for 1. Homeboy sprung for 2. Okay? His and hers. Fucking gangster as shit. It looks like Top Gun. There's 2 light strips lighting the fucking runway. You open the tailgate of this fucking canopy, and the end song from Top Gun plays. It's fancy as shit.
Okay, you can truck owner, live in the country. If I threw a bag of garbage in the back of your truck, what would you do?
Mm-hmm. You're fucking fine with it.
No, the fuck you wouldn't. It would leak out.
Everything in there, I can hose everything out. I'm fine with it.
It's carpet.
It's carpet on top of a legit Line-X liner.
Okay.
Which is another thing.
Yeah. Next time we're in town, we'll do a
bed
dump
liner.
run.
Hold on. I got the bed liner because you need a bed liner, right? Spray and bed liner. And then I covered it up with carpet. Fucking useless.
You're fucking 90 years old right now.
You know. It's a sweet truck, Joe.
It is. I love your truck. But it's useless.
So typically for the audience, we start the show by bringing up our lists because
Oh,
that is the gist of the show. Rather
yeah,
than call each other every
I got
day.
a
Hold
fucking
on,
list.
I'm explaining the show for the
Oh, go
new
ahead.
listeners. There's like 2 new listeners. So rather than call each other every day, if we see like a dumb bumper sticker, we just write it down, and every 2 weeks, sometimes 3, we read our lists and we have our conversation.
It's been a rough week, 2 weeks.
But before we release the lists, Joe, it's a big day. We've got our first sponsor. First sponsor. Today's show is brought to you by Iron Eagle Flag Supply. Now, I know you're asking yourself, do these guys sell flags? No, they don't. It's a very misleading title. But what they do sell is flag weights. Do you hang your flag at a 45-degree angle on the front of your house, and then the wind comes along and it gets all curled around the pole? That
sounds like half-mast.
Yeah. And nobody wants a wrinkled up, wrapped up flag. So if you want your flag to fly, but not fly over its own pole and get all wrapped up, Iron Eagle Flag Supply. Through much research and development, they have developed an exact half-pound bald eagle steel cutout with a nice little ball chain. That sounds funny. And a little plastic clamp at the top. You draw a straight line where the stars meet the stripes down. You clamp it to the bottom of your flag, and you've got an awesome bald eagle flying below.
Why is it a clamp?
What do you mean?
Why is it a clamp?
Well, it depends. If you already have a flag that you like, you can buy this version with the clamp. However, you can also purchase what we call the Patriot package, which comes with a flag that's already got a grommet where the flag weight goes. And when I said we, what I meant was Iron Eagle Flag Supply, because I'm definitely not affiliated, and it's definitely not my company. It's a real sponsor, Joe. And for those bougie people like me, we also have gloss powder-coated black. Show your patriotism today. Go to ironeagleflagsupply.com. All right, on with the show. That was fucking shameless as shit. It's a great idea, though.
All right, my list. I'm going to start with me because you're going to take it over anyways. Okay, hold on. We did Master P already. Going 140, Porn Star. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, this is a fun one.
Okay.
And it's actually just a point. And I'm sorry, this is not racist. This is just an idea.
Usually when you preface with, this isn't racist.
But truly. Okay. The note was in my phone.
Okay.
Calling someone native sounds like they're dumb.
Okay, we will discuss this.
Hold on. Calling them Indian means you're dumb.
I agree with that.
Right. So the issue is everybody, when you say Native American, like, no, they're the founding of this country.
Indigenous.
That's the term.
Probably the best way. If you're going to
even to me, like if you right, but even indigenous sounds like they're caveman. So that was why I wrote it down, because like you say indigenous or native. Oh yeah, you're breaking out the bit.
Oh God.
Right, that's the topic.
I know. Well, okay. Here's the problem. You said it makes them sound like cavemen, and I'm not saying that.
We're gonna cut right now.
But we have to be fair and say that when European people landed on the shores of America, the Native Americans, the indigenous people, they hadn't even met the Bronze Age. They hadn't met the Metal Age.
Right. They didn't have horses.
They were hunting with sticks and sharpened rocks, and they hadn't harnessed the wheel. So
yeah, this is
sounds
why I wrote
terrible.
it down. It is
Sounds
terrible. That's a
Sounds
terrible start.
Sounds
But
terrible.
again,
doesn't make
again
that doesn't make you any less, any more. Nothing.
It doesn't,
There's
'cause we're
lots to be admired about a
400 years
everything.
beyond that.
True.
The point is, when people say or get offended by saying native or Indian,
Right.
if a white person says Indian, then it sounds racist.
It sounds dumb. They're not Indian. That was all
They're not
based on a mistake
correct.
that he thought
But
he
if
had
you
landed in
say
India.
you're native, then it also kind of cripples the situation. So both terms to me
because
sound
both of us are native. We were born here.
right.
That's
So
why
both
that statement is dumb.
Both of them sound stupid. That was my point. There is no, and I'm not going to call you, I'm sorry, by your tribe, because I don't know your tribe.
So and that's the thing too. Like, if I see, like, I don't know, a black person, I would never call them African American because they're not from Africa. They were born here. I would say they're American.
Right.
If you were born here, you're an American. My
yes, 100%.
Son, who's half Asian, is an American. My wife's Asian. She is an American. She was born here. Her mom was born in Cambodia. So, but I mean, I guess you could call her Cambodian, but I guess my point is it's weird to identify people by where they were from like 4 generations ago.
Right. And that's why America exists, because we're like the melting pot of the world.
Which is why we should just go with American. Now, if you ask somebody their nationality, even that's weird because they're not from that nation.
Right. And we're all fucking mutts.
Yeah.
Most of us are fucking mutts.
Yeah. I guess you could say, what's your nationality? But it's so
still
weird.
The nation.
I know we've had this conversation a few times, but in the 90s, all of this was solved. Right? Nobody cared. But now society is in this huge race to divide everybody by all these different things that you are. You know, well, I'm this American, I'm a veteran, I'm handicapped. Like, it's just meh.
Just be you, bro. That's why I love the movie Surf's Up.
All the same.
Just watch Surf's Up and you'll be fine. I'm just me, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. Where were we at last week? Me and Tana were somewhere, and I was like, I remember saying to her, like, this is why we also need liberals. Like, why you need conservatives and liberals. I'm pretty sure it's because it was like a really good,
I'm gonna guess you're in Bend, Oregon.
I was at Double Mountain in Hood River.
Okay.
Yep. And I was like, this is why we need liberals and conservatives, right? Because they've got all the woke signs all over their restaurant. Black Lives Matter. This is a safe space, trans, all that stuff. And yes, it's just virtue signaling for sure. But it's one of my favorite places on earth. Their pizza is amazing. Their beer is amazing. We all need each other. Without liberals,
like to sponsor,
movies would
that'd be great.
Yeah, I don't think they will now.
Again, there needs to be a balance in the fucking world. And
Absolutely.
the balance isn't fucking everybody agreeing. A balance is everybody disagreeing, and the balance is in the middle.
And that's what scares me about this upcoming election, because we talk about the best society is going to have balance, and it's going to have opposing views, and people are going to debate it out, and the best arguments are going to win, right? That's a good society. That's why America is so awesome. And one of the candidates came out this week and was just like, no, we need to move for these social media platforms to have regulations on misinformation and disinformation. The problem is who decides what is misinformation and disinformation? Because for a long time, saying COVID came from China was misinformation. But we know that's wrong. The Hunter Biden laptop story was Russian misinformation. Turns out it wasn't. So whoever's in power is going to decide what you're allowed to hear and what you're not allowed to hear.
Hashtag socialism.
And it makes me wonder, before the internet, this has probably been going on forever.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's not Democrats versus Republicans. It's rich establishment versus everybody else.
And it was a lot easier then.
Well, yeah, like, you know, take a...
Easier as far as the rich people delegating what happens.
Yeah. But take, you know, my favorite podcast, the Drinking Bros. They dabble in a lot of news stuff. And one of the guys on the show, Dan Holloway, he has tons of friends that are still in the upper echelons of the government, special forces, all that stuff. So he gets a lot of inside info. And if it weren't for the internet, like somebody like that and his perspectives would never be heard.
Right.
Your biggest conservative on TV would be Mitt Romney. You know?
Right.
So that's all. Do you have more on your list?
I have tons.
We didn't even get through the fucking list. Just give me a couple more.
Okay, so blah 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 blah. Oh yeah. If I see another fucking duck. Yeah. Okay. So Jesse's a Jeeper.
Wait a minute. What? Awesome. Jeeper. Oh yeah. Oh, those fucking ducks. Yeah.
And the fucking ducks are so dumb. He explained it to me. So Jeep people put ducks on other people's Jeeps if they're cool. And
it originated as a charity.
And I kind of appreciate that because it sounds awesome. But I see all these Jeeps out here with like just stuck as fuck with their whole dashboard covered with ducks. I'm like, there is nothing special about this Jeep. You are driving a Jeep. The duck thing is so fucking stupid. It drives me insane. And I wish I never asked you what the fuck the duck was about.
It's only stock Jeeps. It's people that don't actually crawl their Jeeps. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the same as like, you know, the guy that still has stock wheels is the guy that has the most stickers on his car.
Yeah.
And for the audience, that was me and Joe. Both of us are guilty of that. But like,
we tried. We were broke.
It's the cheapest entry point into I'm a Jeeper. But those are the same people that give you like a Jeep wave when you're going down the road and you don't wave. It's basic. Here's what they are. They're the 3-wheel trike Polaris motorcycle of the Jeep world. So they do the little thing where they put the arm out with the little motorcycle wave with the 2 fingers, and nobody waves back to them.
But they have the slant eyes.
They do.
Yeah. And that was not an Asian joke, by the way. So Jeepers, they can get the slant eye covers.
It's the same thing though. Like when a fucking 80s Kawasaki piece of shit motorcycle gives like the wave to like a big fat dude on a fucking big ass Harley, like
yeah,
it's just like I'm not like I don't wave. I just like motorcycles. I don't do it to be part of a culture, you know?
Yeah.
We beat that into the ground. Beat the shit out of that one.
So I'm gonna skip ahead on one, and then I'm gonna go back.
Do I get a turn today?
No. So this one is Jesse's a fag.
Whoa.
And I'm just saying
throwing the F bomb.
Full F.
Wow.
She wanted you to know. Katie said, call Jesse a fag.
Oh, that's it? I thought you were going to have like a deep 60 minutes investigation over my past suspect behavior.
No. A week ago, I was like, I have to do the podcast tonight, blah, 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 blah. And Katie's like, Jesse's a fag.
And to be clear to the audience, that has nothing to do with homosexuals.
No. This 1990s, you're a piece of shit. All right. The duck. We already touched on this. Don't be a menace while drinking your juice in the hood. Because we quoted it. Don't watch that movie. It's terrible. Like, it was amazing in the 90s, but I tried to watch it the other night. It is so bad.
There are movies and other things. Dude, there are some things that do not stand the test of time that at the time were the best thing in the world. And I'm going to give you the ultimate example. The fucking Adam Sandler albums.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Wista, Jar 25.
We try to listen to it when we're going to mow him.
And it was like, this fucking sucks.
Terrible.
I used to listen to that over and over.
Yeah, it was amazing then.
Yeah.
Terrible.
They're all going to laugh at you.
Still quoted. Fucking you riz that thing.
I'll quote it all day long, but it's the same with the movies. Like, I love Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your gin and juice in the hood. I love it for what it did for me when it was important, but it is only a memory. The same way I love give me somebody. Jennifer Love Hewitt. Because she was the best thing in the world for a solid 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
But nowadays, it's all about Sydney Sweeney.
Dude, she looks like she has Down syndrome. I can't do it.
She's from the Spokane area. You put some respect on that name, sir.
No,
Sydney Sweeney does not look like she has Down syndrome.
And I'm not dismissing Downs either. I'm just saying, she
might have go down syndrome, which is why she's so attractive. She's just got that look in her eyes, like she might do that.
No, she has a look like she's retarded. Like I don't.
You really think that?
Yes.
She is classic good looks, and by that I mean she's got great
tits. Like she has huge tits. Huge. Other than that,
and she loves doing love scenes.
Oh my God! Look at my eyes right now. Look, I look half awake, right? Because I have these down eyes.
Correct.
This is her. She looks full retard.
She may not age well. But this is, Joe, this is a fucking question about life right here, okay?
Oh, this is what my
wife... Would you rather have your moment? Would you rather have the best one night of your life that goes viral, you're an American hero, everybody loves you, the rest of your life kind of sucks, or you just want to be mediocre but for a really long time?
I don't understand the question.
I'm saying Sydney Sweeney may not age very well, but she is having a moment, and the man that locks her down may have to deal with maybe not as attractive of a lady when she gets old, but he got Sydney Sweeney.
Britney Spears.
Ooh. But if you would have locked her, if you were, what was that fat dancer's name that got her? Started with an F. Fetterman? No, that's a congressman.
I think you're right. No, there was
a fat dancer dude that married her, right?
Yeah, you're right. But no, he was like in sync or something.
No, that was Justin Timberlake.
No.
Justin Timberlake got Britney in her absolute prime, and Justin Timberlake is the reason that Britney Spears is now crazy, because they apparently, supposedly, she got pregos, and he had her do an abortion. And I think Timberlake's kind of a piece of crap, because he'll do anything to save his own career and be in the spotlight. He did that to her, and then he ruined every radio show in America when he pulled that crap stunt at the Super Bowl with Janet Jackson. And then he tried to blame the whole thing on her. And I'm talking a lot right now because Joe's been pissing in a bottle for a good 20 seconds.
He ruined the internet. That is correct.
He ruined, like, if you want to talk about censorship and big government take over censorship, he is the original, the first person to make that happen. I should probably
look at
that happened before or after 9/11?
Did you know that that's why YouTube started?
Is it really?
Yes, because everybody looked to the internet to find the video of Janet Jackson's titty, and nobody could find it. And this company was like, we should have videos.
Yeah.
That's how YouTube started, because of
Dude, that
that.
blows my mind. I had no idea. You know who else had no idea? IronEagleFlagSupply.com. They did not know that that's how YouTube started. Check them out today. $5
All right.
flat shipping rate.
2 more small points.
Hold on. I want to talk about this Janet thing. One quick point.
Okay.
Have you seen the raw footage?
Of her tit?
Yeah.
No.
So she's got like basically nipple jewelry. It's not a piercing. It's like an entire white gold encrusted, like basically a piece of jewelry that lets the nipple through but covers up the areola. Okay.
Okay. So you see
can't
nothing.
Well, you still see some of the areola, but not much. The point is that fucking obviously that was planned. Nobody wears that great of nipple jewelry, or even naked. I've never seen anything like this. It's fucking amazing. Nobody does that if they know it's not going to be fucking seen. That's all.
Under a Band-Aid, because that's what she was wearing.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Timberlake pulled it off. It was totally fucking planned. And then he threw her under the bus. Oh, it was all her.
I still love
Bluetooth
JJ.
disconnected.
Okay. So I've got midget memes.
Oh boy.
I'm over it. Like I didn't think they were funny in the beginning. I just think they're stupid.
Wait a minute.
All the
Which
videos, midget memes.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go Hawk Tua.
Now, Hawk 2 is over too. But like none of the midget memes to me are funny. Like where the guy's doing like the ropes and it's somebody's shoestring, or he's cutting, and then it's like I'm like, it's so fucking dumb.
It's creative.
It's creative, but it's stupid. That was it. Second one, which you're gonna get excited on.
Oh boy.
Nicolas Cage.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Psychopath or genius?
Fuck. So this is here's what I'll say once again. This is why we need conservatives and liberals, because you need conservatives to actually like run the country business wise and make sure we don't like get taken over by the Dutch. But
the Dutch.
Yeah, the Dutch, fuck the Dutch. They're after us, trust me. Okay. No, but you need liberals because they're fucking insane. But it's genius. I'm going genius all the way. I think Nicolas Cage,
I would say he's a genius.
He's a tortured genius. He got fucked over in a divorce. He lost all of his money. Either that or it was his agent. Somebody took that man's money. So he had to do a lot of really crappy movies to basically pay taxes. But the movies where he's actually just Nicolas Cage are fucking brilliant. And I'm not just talking Con Air. All right. Gone in 60 Seconds. National Treasure is a fucking national treasure.
Oh,
okay?
Yeah.
If it's on TV, I'm watching.
Every time. And I've seen it 1,000 times. I will suffer through the commercials and still watch it.
So there was this fucking awesome meme the other day, and it was like actors that look like other actors. And they would show pictures of like these actors that look the fucking same that you confuse for each other all the time. And there was like 9 examples, and the one in the lower left corner was John Travolta and Nicolas Cage.
That's hilarious.
From fucking Face Off.
With that said, so Keira Knightley and Olivia Wilde are apparently 2 different human beings.
Yeah. Keira
Never-
Knightley has a magical fucking genetic trait. And it is, there's something about her eyes that are just wetter than any other eye. She always looks like she's just about to cry. And it,
Both of them do.
have you seen Begin Again? It's her and Mark Ruffalo. It's a music movie.
No.
It's got Adam Levine in it from fucking Maroon 5.
Nope.
It's a fucking great movie. And you know how much I hate Mark Ruffalo.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
The guy that's the Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember the exact title of the movie, but it's one of my favorite movies. And it's fucking great. But Keira Knightley, of course, plays the chick from England who's like, she's not hot. She's not hot. She's just insanely cute. And her eyes look like she's always about to cry. Like one little thing, it's going to set her off. She's going to cry. Definitely going to need to come to you for support. Right? A little shoulder to cry on. Her teeth are jagged as shit. All right.
Is she British?
And she doesn't even have tits. But there's something about her that is just magical. We're getting canceled. I'm getting canceled. I'm getting canceled, Joe.
Oh, God.
Hold on. Let me get one subject in, Joe, because it totally ties into this Keira Knightley thing. One of the first thing on my list this week was qualities of a trophy wife versus, oh, wait a minute, quality of a trophy versus a wife. The story of Aubrey Plaza.
Who the fuck is Aubrey Plaza?
God damn it, Joe. Where the fuck have you been?
I'm an ostrich.
She's from Parks and Rec. She's the goth chick with the huge fucking eyes, like the really white eyes.
Never seen it.
You never seen Parks and Rec?
Nope.
You've never seen Aubrey Plaza in Somebody and Somebody Need Wedding Dates?
Nope. I'm gonna Google it.
Okay, look up a picture of Aubrey Plaza. You will recognize it. Okay. Waiting.
Is it with an O?
Aubrey Plaza. S.
Oh, it popped up. S. See? Again, quoting that awful tape. Still say it.
Respect the milk. Sammy, jump in front of a fucking truck.
Oh,
Respect.
Yeah, I recognize her.
All right. So here's the thing about Aubrey Plaza. Aubrey Plaza, and we know a girl that is exactly like this, where they are just, well, we'll just say it, Laurel, right?
I was going with a T on that one.
Same category. That was actually who I was saying at first.
Yeah.
I just didn't, because I know she listens.
Yeah, but
Does
same.
she?
Yeah,
So-
she does. But Laurel and T are on the same.
They're fucking cool as shit, right? They're a fucking unicorn, because that's the girl that when you marry, you know that they're just gonna be so much fucking fun to hang out with forever, right? And this is where I didn't want to say the name. Is it like also super cute, very cute, not hot, super cute. So it's like, do you want do you want the trophy wife that's just like basically Heidi Klum, where they're just gorgeous as shit, and you know that with their classic good looks, they're literally going to be beautiful forever, but you're going to talk a lot about, like, you know, Real Housewives of whatever, and like what's for sale at Trader Joe's this week? You know what I mean? A lot of conversations about the benefits of kale. You know what I mean? Whereas the other person, maybe not as good looking, but fucking awesome. And because of that awesome personality, you know it transfers into the bedroom. You know it does. Right?
One would hope.
Totally forgot the point I was trying to make here. The point is this, is that at some point, men, you're going to have to make a choice between, do you want to make a shit ton of money and do all the things necessary to get that trophy wife so that you look cool to all the other guys? And yeah, it's kind of fun because you got a hot wife. Or do you want the chick that's,
Speaking of hot wife with the beer.
yep, ridiculously
That's it.
cute?
I love you. She brought me a beer. Then she turned away.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
But anyway, do you want the smoking hot trophy wife that's still cool, or do you want the ridiculously awesome chick that is super fun to hang out with, ridiculously cute, and is going to have an awesome personality forever? And once again, like I said, ridiculously cute, just not like I'm going to be in a fucking porn video hot, right? And you can't have both because it doesn't exist. It does not exist.
I can honestly say out loud that I guaranteed my wife settled for me.
Settle for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I am probably, first of all, the whitest guy she's ever dated. And second, like short, like she settled.
Rumor has it, potential former felon.
Well, she does like the bad boy. So I got that going for me.
Right.
But yeah, she settled for me, which I'm happy with.
Dude, me and you have overshot our coverage our entire lives. There were guys that we went to high school with that had way nicer cars, way more money, were taller and were better looking, and we got hotter chicks than they did.
Absolutely.
I don't know what we did. Here's one thing I will say.
You have to be mediocre your entire life.
I know that me and you being a team and being friends helped both of us. I can say that because you taught me a lot about
confidence,
being genuine and confident with who you were. And I was terrible at that. I don't know that I taught you anything, but
saying fuck it gets you
I feel like we're both better for it, right?
Just saying like fuck it and doing things gets you far in life.
I was single at one point. The year was 2004. Okay. Reagan was in the White House. Carter was the president. And Alan Greenspan was running this country into the ground.
Oh, nobody knows that reference. Out Cold. Great movie.
Fucking great movie, dude. Dude, you know the guy in that played the gay bartender?
Yeah.
Tana's watching a fucking what every chick watches, some fucking English aristocracy recreation show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that motherfucker was in it. I was amazed.
And you're like, this dude.
Yeah. What were we talking? Oh, 04.
2004.
So I'm like in between girlfriends and just bummed out at life. But I'm driving a Honda S2000 because I'm trying to lead with my wallet, which fellas never lead with your wallet.
You always,
especially if you don't have a wallet. I could not afford that car, Joe. Couldn't afford it. An S2000 in 2004. Anyway, so it did not help me get the ladies, surprisingly. And me and Joe were cruising Division, and there was a hot chick in a Honda Accord in front of us. And Joe's like, my boy's lonely. He gets out of the S2000,
she was at Taco Bell, by the way.
Literally walks up to the car in front of us with the hot chick in it and just gets into the car, just opens the passenger door, gets in and says, hey, what's up? And rather than pitching for himself, he got her to give her number to me. You're a good man, Joe.
Yeah, I have always had the gift of gab. I don't understand what it is.
That story continued on for a long time with a lot of twists and turns.
There's a lot of twists.
Mostly on Joe's side. And we will never tell that story. Ever.
So I have a fun one on that too. So like kind of the same scenario. I was leaving the mall somewhere in San Diego. I don't remember where the fuck it was. Same story though. Driver looked at me. I was like, I'm getting out. We're in a traffic jam. I got out of my car, said, "What's up?"
Mhm.
Got her number. Walked back to my car. Drove off. Called her. Got a date. Went out on the date.
Mhm.
It was the passenger.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
You
I
got the
got.
number of the passenger,
Yeah.
but you thought it was the driver.
Yeah.
Was the passenger better or worse, Joe?
Way worse.
Oh,
Way worse.
wow.
Yeah. I took her
Hold
to.
on, though. I'm going to tell you why that happened. Please tell me that you were driving a fucking four-door Dodge Neon
I was.
with a homemade spoiler duct taped on the trunk.
I was poor.
Joe,
It was a duct tape.
was that race car of yours an automatic?
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I took her to Carl's Jr.
But there
Drive
was
through.
nothing junior about her, was there, Joe?
No, there was nothing junior. I can't make this story up. Okay, because Carl's Jr. puts too much mayonnaise on their chicken sandwich. We can all agree.
Everybody knows that, Joe.
Okay, so she asked for extra mayonnaise on her sandwich.
Oh,
I was like, oh,
that's an invitation.
We get to the fucking window. I'm paying for $4 of sandwiches at the time.
Which would
She
be
goes,
$38 by today's standards. Thank you, Bidenomics.
She asked for extra mayonnaise packets. Can't make this up. Yeah. So I take her to fucking the Cliffs, which I did on every date. Got some 40s.
Hey, if it works, don't change
And
it.
she ate all the fucking mayonnaise. Yeah.
That's so funny. Now, Joe, did you, knowing you,
Yes, I did.
what happened on this date, Joe? How did this date end?
I dropped her off and never
If
spoke
this
again.
were baseball and say you hit the ball and you were running the bases, what base did you reach, sir?
I would say she reached downtown.
She hit a home run.
She hit a home run.
She hit a home run.
And I had to drive her back to a facility that was for workers.
Wait a minute, hold on. Hold on. Let's back up. So she hit a home run but got nothing in return.
No.
Basically, it was like she hit a home run, but then somebody was over the line or something.
No,
Okay.
but she lived in this like community of an apartment, which is like kind of like work release.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It was like super awkward the whole time.
So she was on work release, but you were the only one who actually got a release.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Extra mayonnaise.
I love the weeks when we don't even get to half of our subjects. I would like to note the next episode, we need to actually read the list because people.
You kept counting me on my list. You have a list.
Well, that's not the thing. Joe, we're supposed to read the whole list and then go back. Because people like to hear the whole list because they want to know. They look forward to the top. Look at this topics here. Those subs will ruin your ears. People look forward to that story, Joe.
Dude, I'm fucking deaf. I'll tell you that much.
Well, the reason I put that on is because in my new job, like basically I'm a gopher. So like when the surgeon needs something, part of my job is I go in the room to where it's at and I fucking get it.
Oh, you're a Sally.
Surgeons talk very quiet.
That's what
right?
Your brother Steve calls it. A Sally.
Yeah. I can't hear him, Joe. And it's making me look like I'm incompetent, but really I'm just deaf because me and you had really loud fucking
Yeah, and our parents
subs in our cars
would be like,
for
"You need
10
to turn that
fucking
on, or
weeks.
you're gonna be deaf." And I'm fucking deaf.
I'm starting to go deaf. And I can't hear the doctors, and it's making me look like an idiot.
I work underneath a hood all day. That's a
Uh-huh.
constant fan of white noise.
Mhm.
I can't hear shit.
Joe, we already had this conversation. That is American noise. I'm just saying. I don't
Sorry,
like the way
I
don't like the way
racist.
the show entered because it made it look like we were disrespecting the indigenous of America. And
No,
that
I
is
was calling
not what I
white people.
wanted to
I was calling white people stupid. On top of that, I think both are stupid, but the term on both ends are stupid.
The Real for Life podcast respects all people of all backgrounds.
I was trying to do except for, and I couldn't come except for amputees. I can say that
because you're
because my sister's half white.
and she has one leg. Yes.
So this is like the worst joke. But I was trying to create a joke and it failed. But
Oh, jeez. That reminds me. So your sister, who's obviously a huge Dave Matthews fan. So
yeah.
we went to Dave Matthews last weekend in the Gorge.
How was that?
It was fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing. I feel like there were two things I wanted to talk about. Are you okay if I just rattle them off real quick?
Yeah.
All right. So the first one is
okay. Hold on, I got one more thing. I'm just kidding.
The first one is just Sprinter Van Beta Man. So of course we show up. Now last year when we went to see Dave Matthews in the Gorge, and the Gorge, for those who don't know, is literally in the middle of nowhere. It's fucking in the middle of nowhere, and there's a stage and a big grass hill that you sit on, and then it just overlooks the Columbia River. There's not a fucking house in sight, no civilization. It's amazing. You see the show, and then you just camp at your parking spot overnight, and then you leave in the morning. So you can party your ass off, sleep it off, and then go home. It's amazing. So last year when we went, some people parked across from us in a Tesla, clearly from Seattle, right? They reach in the front, which is apparently the trunk of a Tesla, because there's no motor, and they pull out a tent bag, also with a Tesla logo. Now, this is not your standard Coleman tent. It's not just two poles that go over the middle. Probably like 6 poles. Still not that confusing. And I guarantee both of these people have at least bachelor's degrees, probably at least master's degrees, because they're from Seattle, they're in a Tesla. We watch them fumble
or Russian poetry.
Yeah. We watch them fuck with this tent for a half hour, and then we leave for the concert because music's playing. We came back, they were gone. Couldn't figure out the tent.
They just left.
Fucking left. Right? This year, the people that parked next to us are in a fucking Sprinter van. Apparently, they've rented it. They're super nice. They come over, they introduce themselves. Boulder, Colorado. Right? But this is one of those situations where it's like a highly educated, strong, fucking female, real Hillary Clinton voter, right?
Mm-hmm. Chris's wife.
And no, Steve's wife. Sweaty Steve's wife.
God, that's harder.
It basically was Steve and Christy. Because, like, what they're trying to do is there's a very slight incline, enough to where I didn't adjust my truck at all, and we slept in the back of it. Fucking fine. But you know how they have like those little orange block things that you stack, and then you drive up on it to level it?
Right, to make sure.
They couldn't fucking get it done. It was actually a Dodge ProMaster van, so it's front wheel drive, and they couldn't figure out how to like drive up onto the block without spinning out And she's like trying to direct the whole thing, and he's just over there like, yes, dear, just a obedient little beta male. And okay, so here's the thing. If there's a slight incline and your ass end is pointed downhill, okay, and it's front wheel drive, are you going to put those blocks in front of the rear tires or behind them? Downhill. Downhill. Right. They could not figure this out with all of their fucking college from Boulder, Colorado.
Logic is not a thing.
Finally, they give up on that, and then they're trying to deploy their fucking awning, and their generator keeps going off. And the guy next to him comes over and says, hey, nice van. What's the deal with the generator? Are you going to run that all night? And he's like, well, I don't know, because we can't figure it out. He's like, oh, well, I don't want you to figure it out because the fucking fumes go right into my tent. So finally, they start trying to do the parking blocks again.
Alpha came over.
They give up and they just drive off.
Shut the fuck up.
Flew from Boulder, Colorado, Joe. Rented a Sprinter van.
Oh my God.
Took the fuck off. Now, my guess is they probably just tried to go to a campsite that was perfectly level. But what the fuck? But because of it, we had nobody next to us.
This is why I love my wife. I'm going to tell this story perfectly. So, if you ever want to get a divorce, launch a boat.
Oh, fuck that. Dude,
So
I went to Hawaii with a girlfriend and rented a 2-person kayak. It's the same thing.
Right. So we're actually, after the launch, we're getting it back on the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
This is years ago. We're both 5-6 beers in. So we're trying to get this boat back on the trailer. I'm in the truck, and there's a waiting line. There's people trying to launch their boats. And we can't get it centered. I'm in and out. We're screaming at each other. This kid on the dock is laughing his ass off. He's probably 12. He's just fishing, just laughing at us. And we're like, fuck you. Like, we're just screaming at each other.
There's like, Instagram pages dedicated to this.
Yes. Yes, there is. I was like, you fucking drive. So I get out, and she backs it down. I'm trying to get the boat centered. Can't figure it out. We're screaming at each other. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Because everybody's waiting. I was like, let's pull forward. So we just pull forward. The boat's sideways on the fucking trailer. We pull forward, let everybody do their shit, sit down, have a beer, chill out.
There you go. Dude, very smart.
Right. Chill out, have a beer,
calm,
in and out, done.
Nice.
And that's why I love my wife. Like, right there. It's like, I could kill you, but sometimes you need to sit down.
You know what? Most wives and husbands too would have just said, fuck it, let's go home, and argued about it later, and they would have sold that boat, Joe.
But sometimes you just need to pull over and calm your tits.
Calm your tits, Becca.
Yeah.
Calm your tits, Becca. So here's the other thing I learned at the concert, Joe. I think I understand and have lived pretty much the same experience as the migrants illegally coming into our country at the Dave Matthews concert. So, and I'll tell you what.
Oh my God. Continue.
All right. So I did not reserve camping in time to get premier parking. So I had to camp in standard parking with the pores. Okay. So premier camping is what we got when we went to Bert Kreischer. And at premier camping, you're probably a 5, maybe 10-minute walk to the concert venue, right?
Yeah. And showers.
Yes. And they have showers. Yes. But I did not reserve that in time, so I had to stay in standard camping. We got there pretty early, so I wasn't like the farthest out, but we were far enough out to when it was time to go to the concert, we started our walk or pilgrimage. And here's what I noticed on that walk, Joe. much like the people from South America and
hate
other
saying
places
this
around the
with a
world that
straight
are
face.
not quite as cool as America, we started our walk. Okay. Now it was 98 degrees outside that day, Joe. And we didn't have water, but we did have hope. And so we walked and we kept walking. And the thing is you got to walk so fucking far, Joe. And you're
It was
you're
a
not
fucking
praying for
mile.
you're not even praying for the event, Joe. You're not praying for the event. You're not praying for the Statue of Liberty that is the Dave Matthews event venue. You're just trying to get to the border. You're trying to get to Premier Camping. And here's what happens when you get to Premier Camping, Joe. There are armed guards. Okay, they're not armed, but they are guards. Okay. And you're not allowed to go into Premier Camping area unless you have a bracelet. Here's the other thing. After we trekked the hill, because of course there's a fucking hill to get to Premier Camping, which by the way is paved. The road that you walk on to the venue from Premier Camping, it's paved. Okay, it's paved with dreams. The road we were walking on was gravel. It was paved,
terrible,
rough gravel. Okay, with big rocks and potholes. So here's my point. There is one. Much like the plight of the immigrant and the American, right? Here's the point of DEI right here. By the time we got to Premier, by the time we made our pilgrimage from standard camping to Premier, which was 30 fucking minutes, Joe. 30 minutes from our campsite to Premier.
So 1 mile.
An additional 5 minutes.
A mile.
Yes. An additional 5 minutes to get to the venue. When we reached the border of Premier Camping, everybody meshes together, right? Right? And we all have one goal. And that goal is to get from where we are currently to the concert venue, or the American dream, Joe, success. The difference is the people in Premier Camping got fresh legs, Joe. They've got fresh legs. They've got a fucking paved road, right? And they've probably got a fucking water bottle, okay? Whereas me and my wife, we've already walked 30 minutes uphill.
The immigrant, gravel, your wife, the immigrant that actually came here on a boat.
Correct. So yes,
legally, by the way,
now in America, and we both do have the same goal. But one group has fresh legs, and the other might have a hemorrhoid. Okay, I'm just saying. I now feel like I can give an educated, conversation and outlook on the plight of the illegal immigrant trying to come to America.
That walk,
even when they get here,
100 miles in the desert. Yeah, you're right.
Still have an advantage. Okay. Ugh.
Do you remember? What a dick.
Oh, man.
Let's just say you're a dick. Do you remember when we were in Moab and we were walking to see the arches? And there's all these signs saying like, we need water. Like, this is a long hike because it's in the desert. We're like, yeah, fuck you. We're doing we. And we just kept walking. Yeah, we made it like a mile. We're like, fuck. We might need to turn around. We saw one arch. It wasn't
even a good one.
No, it was a simple arch. You open it for me.
You remember when we went to the fucking arch on the Jeep trail and like climbed out on it?
Yeah, that was scary as fuck.
I will never, dude. One of those arches collapsed 2 weeks ago. Just out of nowhere. It just collapsed. I will never go out. Like, the thought of going out on that right now scares the crap out of me.
Dude, we're old.
And I will be there next week.
No, you guys parked out on it. All
the top of the world thing?
Yeah. Fuck
Cool
that.
spot. Yeah. For the
Fuck
listeners, get a Google image of Moab top of the world. Really cool spot.
Yeah, my wife called me right before we got there, and it was scary just to walk 10 feet from that. And she's like, "What's up?" I'm like, "I'm losing my mind." Like, it's basically Wile E. Coyote looking down on the Roadrunner.
Yeah.
In real life.
Well, I think that was when we were on the trail, Steel Bender or Metal Masher. The top of the world one, picture where we were standing times about 10. It's insane. Oh, and there's these pictures of these dumb fucking people hanging from their winch line over the edge of the cliff.
No, there's no way.
Hell no.
Yeah.
My winch was made not in America because I'm cheap. We're not doing that.
No, there's no way.
So I think we're at like an hour and a half. I'm gonna erase the ones I talked about and maybe I don't even remember. I got Mexican Killer Burger. Why do I have that?
I hit midgets, right?
Mexican Killer Burger. I don't even remember what that was about. This is why when you write your subject, you have to leave a little detail. Yeah, The Walk to the Border, a Dave Matthews Immigrant Tale. That's what I wrote.
I have Leslie Pantera, but that could go on to another.
By the way, never going to Dave Matthews again.
Yeah, and Mambo Sock. That's my other one.
Mamba Sock?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I love the Mamba Socks. I didn't have one. And I've tried to get on Amazon and find one. Like I probably look once a year.
She bought these stupid ass fucking headbands because she was in Seattle for 2 months, and everybody's wearing this stupid headband. I was like, "It's a fucking Mambo Sock." She's like, "What's a Mambo Sock?" I'm like, "What Mambo you're wearing?"
She's 2 years younger than us, right?
3, but
3. Yeah, that's why.
It's more like a Aunt Jemima Mambo Sock.
She would have been in 3rd grade. Oh yeah, I don't like that. The original Mamba Sock, which was like, hey, let's just cut the sleeve off a shirt and then charge.
That's how it was created. Because the dude was literally in the desert and he was like, I'm going to wear this on my head.
Yep.
I'm going to close with this statement. My wife is going through something right now. And so she's going through a lot of photos. And her sister sent it. They're both going through some things.
Yep.
So my wife sends me photos of her when she's like 15.
Oh, you got turned on.
Yeah. And I'm like, babe, this is twisted. Like you gotta stop because they're like very bikini photos. And she's like, no, I'm 21. I was like, you're not 21 in that fucking picture. So that's a weird mind fuck.
That's like one of those things where
it's my
is
wife.
It okay though?
Is it
kind of like, well, it's kind of like because it's your dog.
Right, because it's your dog. Dude, I'm like, dude, you gotta stop sending me these fucking pictures
of breastfeeding.
Yeah. Look.
I can barely see it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Please
I'm like,
tell me she's 21 in that, right?
She said she was. I was like, there's no fucking way you're 21 in that picture. Yeah.
Is that a Backstreet Boys album in the background? That's their first album.
But like, it's my wife, and I've actually known her beyond that. I've wanted to fuck her since she was 12 because I was.
Yeah, we've known Katie forever.
Right. Huh. But it's like, this is not right, is it?
If it's your wife.
Yeah, I text her. I was like, stop.
Yeah, my wife showed me some pictures of like her when she was at Oregon State. And rather than being turned on, it just got me mad. Because there for 8 years and she was a hot Asian, and I just don't want to think about that.
Well, luckily your wife is a prude.
No, she is, meaning that like my wife, you have to put in time. Like, I'm not talking about like romantically. I'm talking about like just meeting her. Like, you have to put in a little bit of time before you actually meet the real Tana.
Yeah, that's how you introduced me.
Absolutely. But once you meet the real Tana, once you put in some time,
that's
and
another
for
story.
Me, I feel like that's good because I know it warded a lot of terrible men
Dude, she was
off.
like 8 months pregnant. We're in Vegas, and she's like, "Let's go," and you're like, "No." Yeah.
Well, I mean, gotta protect.
I was ad-libbing the whole story because we're at the end of our show, but
right. But that's one of the things I will say I love about my wife is that very few people get to know the real
Tana.
her, and she's fucking hilarious. Very dark sense of humor. I don't know if she's joking or if she's actually racist.
She might murder you.
That too. That's a good place to end the episode. I really hope she doesn't listen to this. Yeah, we'll save some of the other stuff for later. And I always listen back to these before I post them online. And I feel like I'm gonna regret a lot of the things that I said and drinking 4 beers before we started.
Happens.
So, yep. Till next time. Oh, hold on. Let's not forget our sponsor, IronEagleFlagSupply.com. For the raw metal version, I think it's $20 plus $5 flat shipping. 25 for the gloss black Stealth Eagle. I need a better catchphrase. Sorry. Iron Eagle Flag Supply needs a better catchphrase for their company. They should work on that. Like, show your patriotism and blah blah blah.
Yeah, anyway. They should work on that.
We finally got our first sponsor, Joe. Many more to come. Till next time, this is Jesse and Joe. Thanks for listening to the Real for Life podcast. Oh, I think the batteries ran out on my mouse. Hold on.
We're still live.
Stop recording.